My revision race began at 7:15 promptly. We'll gloss over the fact that I'd actually snoozed my alarm a couple of times beforehand. It was a slow start, okay? I hurdled over the obstacles of my extremely messy room. Forgive me, I just haven't unpacked properly since returning from uni and put my dressing gown on. I turned on the light to wake myself up, but it was extremely bright. Here I am making my way downstairs at high speed. Got to get that breakfast and fuel up. And we have our first pit stop, the kitchen. With a marathon day ahead of me, I needed a big breakfast. I've been loving the orange juice muesli combo recently. I had a slight delay and actually had to pick the raisins out of my muesli because I'm a little bit weird and I don't like raisins in my muesli. Fun fact that muesli is one of the few cereals that I will have milk with. I have to add just the right amount though, it has to be just the right consistency, not too milky, not too dry. I got stuck in with some chemistry flashcards over breakfast, which I'd made over the past weeks. They were on energetics and equilibria for those interested. I whipped through them, look at me go. It was a good warm up to the day, a nice light revision technique. At 7:45 I brushed my teeth, I showered, I got myself up. For teens like myself, this is a big achievement. Here I am opening the blinds. It's important to have good light while revising. You do not want to strain your eyes or you end up with bad eyesight like mine. I made my race strategy, a good old to-do list, popped it up on the wall. I have no notice board at home like I do at college, so I have to be innovative. I started with my chemistry kinetics questions, which were kind of bringing together my previous few days' work on those topics. I made the rookie error of not getting everything out that I needed beforehand. I had to go searching for a ruler and graph paper at times, and it just disrupted my revision flow. Just don't do that. I did make good progress through the questions though. The volume of questions was quite big, and it meant it took me all morning. At the end, I was proud to complete the first leg of the race. I classically paperclipped it together and filed it away. At 1:30 it was time to fuel up again, so I turned on the oven. Here I'm going to be showcasing my culinary skills. And yes guys, I can cook bread. Impressive, I know. I made up my own Dijon mayonnaise and added some chicken pieces. It is very tasty. While I ate my lunch, I chatted to my sister and her friend. It's good to be sociable, and I did feel I needed some sort of human contact throughout the day. After eating, I looked over a few chemistry notes that I wasn't sure about. I'd kind of flagged up the weak points while doing the questions earlier on in the day. At 2:30 I got stuck in with my map exercise. I did a practice past paper under exam conditions, so I timed myself about 36 minutes. Speed is of the essence. I've always been a slow worker, and yeah, I just wanted to keep my mapping skills going. I was constructing contour lines, and I felt it was just good to refresh the skill with a geology field trip coming up the following week. Second leg complete, whoop whoop. And now it was time to take on the biggest challenge of the day, my physics lab report. I read over the brief I'd been given to start off with. It was not a pleasant read, to be honest with you. The panic did start to kind of set in. Essentially, we had to choose one of the practicals that we'd done in the last term and write it up all formally, and yeah, it's just a load of work really. I decided to save myself time, I'd modify the lab report that I'd written for the previous term. Having a template to start off with was really useful. This report does form a small part of my final grade. I'm not actually too sure what amount, but it's only a small amount. I do feel like we're being chucked in at the deep end though. Like, I have no experience writing lab reports, but I suppose the only way to learn is to get stuck in. I really need to learn how to touch type because two-finger typing is so time consuming. If anyone has any tips on learning to touch type, please let me know in the comments. It would be really appreciated because Yeah, I need to be faster. Dinner was at 6:30. It was chicken tikka masala and naan bread cooked by my wonderful mother. And I spoke to my family over dinner, caught up with what they were up to over the day. I decided that I'd made a good enough start on my lab report and just packed it up after dinner. And then I filled out my diary with exam dates that had just been released. Joy of all joys. Does stress me out when I'm not organised though, so it was quite good to have set dates in the diary. And I began the final leg of the race. I was on the home straight. It was a sprint to the finish. I think I've pushed this a bit far now, but hey ho. And yeah, I did my physics rotational mechanics, made a few flashcards on it, went through the lecture notes, made notes. By the time I'd finished, I was very tired. So I ticked off, finished my to-do list, finished the race, scrunched up my to-do list. It felt amazing. It was 10:30 at this point, so I got ready for bed, and I also went to get myself water. I like 2 mugs of water by my bed so I don't get dehydrated. And yeah, here I am heading upstairs. So yeah, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.